All right, guys, here we go. Crypto Charts Joe with another Theta and Theta Fuel update. And right now we have the daily chart of Theta up. Each candle's 24 hours of price action. And as you can see, and pay attention to this because we're going to come back to it later. You'll see it again on the test, okay? We have the 200 simple moving average down here, this purple line that we seem to be holding pretty well. Then this little low pivot area here. And then within this consolidate down price channel, we do have a little consolidation zone on this side as well within this channel. That's bullish, positive. And then, of course, our little high pivot where the red dash line is for reference. We have a low pivot resistance here as we come up. That'll be previous supports, now resistance as we come up. Here's a high pivot that's going to be, we couldn't get through it the first time. Came back down, and then we'll try to come back up and over about that 786, that 787 area. Then if you come over here, we have some sideways price consolidation zone. We couldn't get up and over that red dash line zone. And then once we got up, we basically built a wall on top of it, tested it, here, and then of course we had the big meltdown on May 19th, but that's what we're looking for, basically coming in here, making higher highs, higher lows. What you need, we have that high pivot, low, need to come up here. We'll probably come up into this red dash line, maybe even the 20, come back in, make a higher low and go. So this, you always look for those W's, low pivot here, higher low over here, and then we go. But this pivot over here, if you come back down, coming back down, in other words, after you push to the upside, rolling over, so to speak, putting in, a day or three of red candles, and then we call it a pivot because you pivot. There's the price pivots from the downside to the upside. Okay, so you have red down and then green up. That's where your pivot is. And then when you take out that last high over here is generally when you get a clear to run signal. But so that's what we're looking for. We're not going to go straight up here. We're going to come up, hit this resistance zone because it's a valid, reliable price area here where that red dash line is, because we've hit it and tested it so many times. And then of course you have the 20, which is going to be a natural either resistance coming up to it or support as you come down into it. Okay. And then Theta Fuel, the talk of the town right now. It's one of the stronger ones. And that's why I, said, hey, look for this later. See where the 200 is. We're going to look at a few other charts to see where the 200 and the 20 is. And you will see that Theta Fuel is one of the strongest altcoins out there. I know there might be one or two that I'm missing, but I only deal with the best. So that's why, the ones are going to be long term. So anyway, again, we have this wick up here at the red dash line, another one next to it, high pivot, and this is our pivot, green, red, and price pivots 180 to the downside. That's why we call it that pivot. And then we're inside this sideways price consolidation zone with current support, basically at 42 cents, resistance at 47, 48 cents, let's say. And then, of course, we have that dreaded 20 being under it. Sometimes it takes a bit to get back up and over it. And as you can see, Theta Fuel, as well as Theta, loves these sideways consolidation zones, and so do we. Those are accumulation zones. And then the longer the zone, the higher the breakout to the upside, okay? And then in the bear market, it also works the same way. The longer, the stronger the sideways consolidation, the stronger the breakdown to the downside. But over time, see this blue dash line, over time that's going to be tested as we move up, maybe even $2 or over $1. So watch for this long-term uptrend line. And then what I want to show you is just kind of a comparison of other like Theta and Theta Fuel, where they are in correlation to the 220, okay, which are the two most important moving averages on the charts. Another strong, giving you a little bonus here, another strong area, Now I'm going to take off all the lines and stuff on the rest of these charts. Those are for our Patreon members. But anyway, as you can see, we bounced off to 200, so we're over it, but just under the 20 on ADA, which is positive, bullish. Ethereum, as you can see, trading's somewhat the same, but ADA right now is actually a little bit stronger chart-wise than Ethereum. And then Matic, I think, was another one. It's hard to remember all these. Yeah, because we're fairly close to the 20. And then, believe it or not, Dogecoin, didn't even touch its 200. And then as we compare to a little bit weaker coins, the 20 on Atom actually crossed down and under the 200, and all the rest of these are great coins, or wouldn't be on this list over here, but they have just taken a slam down, a little bit tougher position than some of the others that we had showed you. And even Litecoin is below, well below the 200, well below the 20. It's had really gotten hammered, and we were actually calling for $100, and then the low was 105. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. XTZ was another one, well under the 20 in the 200. And we're just making a comparison here to show you, if we're calling names, let's go and look at Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's below, obviously below the 200, below the 20. So we're just, showing in comparison to Theta TFUEL, and a couple of those others, how strong they have held up. Just, in comparison to some of the peers, out there. But anyway, you guys know the fundamentals. Go to the media page on the Theta token website, and you'll be impressed. It's like every few days something pops up there positive that they're doing and ongoing. Of course, the recent patent, and then the AMA. Yesterday, I think they're going to make I think there's some videos out there of the entire meeting with the principals of Theta TFUEL, and you can see it and hear all about it. But anyway, in the meantime, thanks so much for hanging in there on this long video. Hope you learned something, and we will see you on the charts.